After my initial investment with TSSG and Chris, I've seen a returns exceeding 100x in the form of commissions. So the reason why I wanted to invest in a sales training program is I had just made a career transition into a new role, had been doing sales my entire life. However, this was going to be really like my first foray into B2B sales. So it was a new product and a new process, and I didn't have a process. Our company, unfortunately, we're kind of a startup. So we didn't really have a formal onboarding or a formal training program. And I knew that just with the right tools, I could be extremely successful. And so I decided to invest in myself, knowing that I would see the return on the back end. My experience working with TSSG and specifically with Chris has been great. He took the time to understand my business and understand my current process, understand what challenges I was facing. He created a customized solution that worked specifically for me and my customer base now. I've been able to implement it on the go. So I'm not having to wait until the entire process is done. As I implement it, I become more comfortable. As I become more comfortable, I become, more successful. I've done sales training in the past. I worked at a large Fortune 500 company. We constantly did sales trainings, but what I noticed about those, they're primarily the same thing packaged differently. Those training processes and those training videos that we would watch and learn, they were all from the 80s, 70s, maybe the 90s. And the customer has changed a lot since then. And what I liked in speaking with Chris, when I met with him, I just was curious as to learn more about his process. And the one thing he acknowledged was his sales process is based on today's customer. I'll tell you a cool story about how everything happened. We were having lunch. He's telling me about the sales process, but I can see him using the sales process on me. And I didn't say anything. It felt extremely natural, but that showed me that he knew exactly what he was talking about. I started with this company back in March of 2023. Out the gate, I was closing on average about 2 to 3 deals per month, which was, in my opinion, still kind of successful for being new. After my initial investment with TSSG and Chris, I've seen a returns exceeding 100x in the form of commissions. It's been so great that it's December 21st, I think it is. I'm taking the rest of the year off because I've already hit 200% of my commission, and I already have a pipeline built for January to either hit half or my entire quota already. Not only would I recommend it, but I saw that the value it was bringing me personally, and I wanted to share that success with the other sales folks in my company. I met with my chief sales officer and kind of explained to him what I was doing differently, because he asked, what are you doing differently to get these results? And I shared with him, I'm working with a coach. It's a personalized process. You see the benefit it's brought to me. I think it would be a great benefit for our entire organization to get the sales team trained up. So that led to Chris getting a meeting with the chief sales officer and an opportunity for TSSG to become a partner of our company for a long-term growth. Initially, my biggest concern is the upfront cost, right? So I think with any time you're making a large purchase, you have to weigh the cost and the benefit. And when I weighed the cost and the potential benefit, I think the benefit far outweighed the cost. And so it became a no-brainer. Again, I looked at it, instead of me spending X amount of money, I was investing X amount of money, and then my return would be, X%. And I've not only seen my money returned, I don't know, over 100 times over probably, but I'm continuing to see those returns. So it's like a residual return. It's not a one-time return. So I hands down would, do it again.